Well, fellow collectors, the retro series have finally been delivered. I don't know how many months ago we heard about them and we pre-ordered them, but they are here. In this round, what we have is Dr. Mindbender, the Cobra Viper, and Rock and Roll. What's cool is all these have already come out in the classified series because you do have, oh, there goes a few of the guys. You have, Deluxe Dr. Mindbender. You've got so many Vipers from the Python Patrol, Crimson Strike Force team, to the 3-pack that's out there, the Viper that came at the beginning, to Rock and Roll. You have probably the best updated version of anybody so far in the Rock and Roll, and his new one, and his new retro green shirt, like we all remember it back as a kid. And so what I thought I'd do is kind of go through these and kind of rank them in terms of, are they worth it as a retro card, or are they something that, maybe if you already have the Dr. Mindbender Deluxe, maybe you don't need to pick this up. So I'm going to go through these so you have a rough idea of what to expect and see if they might be for you. Because, let's be honest, you do get a lot more in the Deluxe box set for Dr. Mindbender, you know what I mean? Versus the retro carded one, but still gives you a lot of good stuff here in this one. So we'll start with Dr. Mindbender. So looking at Dr. Mindbender, I'm so glad that now they have much more sturdy paperback here for the retro series. I have a Storm Shadow that literally ripped because a blanket got laid on it. This one, no blanket's gonna rip this. This is like, you feel like it's old school. It's not some cheap paper stuff. That's kind of cool. But the one thing I do think is kind of sucks about the retro carded ones, they do have the file cards, but since they're in 4 or 5 languages, they only give you like a small paragraph, not a whole background, so you don't get a better explanation about it. But overall, at least they give you the 3 figures that are in their series. I think it'd be pretty cool if they had the highlights of other ones coming, so it kind of inspires you to buy more, like back in the kid. But overall, I gotta tell you, the packaging for the retro cards, let's be honest, knocks it out of the park, especially versus the new classifieds, which are gotten shrunk down so much. It's like they're almost smushed in. They almost feel uncomfortable for them. With this one, you have this really great, old school setup. I love these kinds better. So in terms of display, I will say, for all of these, the display for the retro carded ones wins. So if you're a displayer, mint in box, leave it up, put it on the wall, you're going to want to get these. I mean, don't get me wrong, this looks kind of cool, but it's just a box. This, I can actually see the figures and enjoy. So I want to say that. So starting off, retro series, way cooler for, I think, if you're going to keep it in the box, way cooler. But what if you're like me and you like to open everything up? Well, first off, we've got to get these bad boys open. Now I try to make as least damage as I can, so I try to just pop the bottoms here, and then slide them out. So I can keep them, I can slide them back in, just a little bit of damage here on the bottom, but overall, pretty cool. Now he does come with a stand, which I think is really cool, and I find it fun that the retro series actually gives you sometimes more helpful things like these stands and other things. Now, in the packaging, he does have, that cape. Oh, it's like, it feels like the cape when you're a little kid. And let's be honest, the big difference between the deluxe for a lot of people and this one is just the Cobra logo on the back. But there are other differences, but I'll be honest, if you just look at this, the cape feels just like it did back as a kid. Let's get him out of here. Got some of the stuff. Oh, I see. And I'll tell you, when you're getting them out, they have a rubber band around his waist. These aren't the rubber bands. These are part of his boots, which are kind of cool. The knee pads going up over the, from the boots going in. Now, holding them. I always like to do this first. Does he have much of a wobble? No, not much of a wobble. Just opening him up. Can I stand up right when he comes out of the box? Boom. Even without the stand, he can stand up nicely. I like that. Now, looking at his sculpt, his face, obviously I'm showing you the up close one, so I'm getting up close and personal. His little monocle looks really cool on there on his eye. He definitely has, his frowny face, kind of thinking, because Mindbender was always so mad. I'm like, Cobra Commander, why do you keep this guy around? Yeah, he's not a good dude. Not a good dude. But, yeah, his cape does come off, but I'm not going to take his cape off, because I always had problems getting back on as a kid with the other ones, so we have that. Now, his gauntlets, they're pretty cool out here, in terms of how he can move. He's got relatively butterfly chest here. He can go kind of out. He doesn't have to be super flexible. He's not a ninja, but he can... hey ladies, have his arms behind his head and stuff. In terms of his knees, he's got the double jointed knees here. He's also pinless, which is nice. His knees do move a lot smoother than some of the older characters, so that's cool. I like that. In terms of his ab crunch, there you go. You can look down at his toes. You can see his toes better than I can. So you have that. So overall, first impressions, Nice character, and for the price difference, the deluxe one costs a lot more to get than the this one. And I'm glad this one came out, because one thing I do like about the Retro series is all those scalpers out there that are trying to not just rip people off. They're like, oh, you want to get Dr. Mindbender, this is your only chance to get him. Then all of a sudden, boom, the Retro line comes out and these things drop. So I got this for cheaper than it was before, because I got this a few weeks ago. My completing classified stuff, so very happy about that. But we start getting his weapons out and his prodders. This looks like something from not G.I. Joe, from Doctor Who, though, so that is kind of funny. But this is his little thing here now. He does have the tube, pops right in there, so you have that. Now, in terms of his other weapons, he does have a sidearm. Now, the sidearm isn't anything great. It looks pretty cheap, but it does have the hole, so I want to have a silencer on there. If I want to put a little something extra on there, I can. So we've got that. And that goes in his holster on the side, so that's cool. Now, looking through, I'm looking on here, and you notice on the thing, it has him holding the thing, but there's no, like, canister kind of stuff. There's no backpack on there. And so what you have is the canister of, like, the gas kind of stuff on there. So you plug, well, you got to find the right place to plug him in. So what you want to do is you want to look on his side hip. On his side hip, there's a little tiny thing there. And you can put it in there to have it go on the side. So it's like a little side flask, if you will. Yeah, he's got a little drinking problem, or his gas problem. So you can have it go around it or behind there. Got him up on there, put his little finger in there. So nice their thumbs don't break off. He's got that. Then I'll give him his other little pistol on the other side. And look at him. He does have two different, things he can use on there. This one came bent already, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, you know how it is. We have that there. But overall, looking at him right up here in the front, I mean, he's a pretty cool character. And though he's a 6-inch one, holding him, he feels more like one of the old, like, 3.5-inch ones. So overall, I would give this a get. And if you have to choose between spending a lot more money to get the retro, getting the retro versus the deluxe one, I would just get the retro one, unless you're like a collector like me who wants them all. This is a cool figure. I do like this figure. However, for the significantly cheaper price and a lot more availability, and he has the Cobra logo on the back, I'm going to have to go with this one. However, if you are a Mass Device guy, there's more like kind of Mass Device vibes kind of thing in here if you want to do like experiments. So he's got so much more stuff in here. But if you're a basic collector doing basic displays and basic fun kind of stuff, I think he does just fine on his own. So this one, in terms of deluxe versus the retro carded, I would probably go with the retro carded over this because the price payoff kind of thing. But both are worth getting, but I would go with this one, and we're here for honest things. So number one, boom, retro card wins over the deluxe figure. Now, the Vipers. Now, I do have the other Vipers, but I thought it'd be good to bring some of the other Vipers in here so they get some love. Oddly enough, I do like the Crimson Viper and the Python. I was never going to get into Python Patrol. Never thought I'd do like the whole complete classified everything here. But this is one of the ones that really got me. I got this, the Python Patrol Viper, and he is just a cool one. Actually, one of our first videos we made on Walter's World was reviewing, Walter's World, that's my travel channel, on Yojo Reviews was him. Oops. Well, he has some issues. All the Vipers have the issues because they all have these weird, like, the weird front legs look like they're almost on the wrong bodies. So I'm hoping that the other one is better at that. And I will say, in terms of color scheme, looking at the other Vipers they have, like the normal Vipers you have, this color scheme, much brighter, much more like the old school ones. So we're ahead of the game there. Because if you try to compare, you have the classified Viper, you have the Viper 3-pack, you've got the Crimson Viper, you got the Python Patrol Viper. So you got a lot of kind of varying on it. And we'll do actually a ranking of Vipers, which one you should get. But going here, display-wise, I do like this because this is definitely an old school one. I actually saw one of these mint in box at a con I was just at this weekend. This is very cool. However, because of the like early classified vibe, I might go for the early classified motif more than this. So I gotta say the classified probably gets the win over the retro on this one. But this is a really great retro carded one, and this is a really cool looking figure color-wise. So let's open it up and compare. Now again, I only try to just pull a little bit off so then I can reach in and get him out of here. And then, of course, this one also has the Cobra stand on there, which is nice. There he is. There we go. Almost. Boom. All right, we got him there and in relatively decent shape. So put this over here for now. All right, so comparing what we have, just like all the other ones, he does have the little goggles that go on top. He has that. I also have to cut off the little rubber band to put him on there. And I understand why they do this so people can't, you know, swipe him out and stuff at the stores, which sucks. Getting him out. One leg at a time. It's like pants, baby. Come on, one leg at a time. Get him out one leg at a time. Boom, he comes out. Ooh! He feels different. Like, he feels different than the other ones. He feels more like, just feels different. Okay, so looking at him in general, legs are different in terms of the patch is much bigger, you know, cargo pants stuff on the side here. In terms of the legs, oh, thank goodness, they got better boots on the bottom, so I'm not worried about like him falling over all the time. So let's see. See if I put him out. Can I stand up right away? Boom. He can stand up right away. I'm already happy here. Now looking at him, he does have, you know, the other ones all have a lot of stuff on the sides. He has a lot of stuff here, but his arms look a little short. Arms look a little short. Little short arm stuff here. His gauntlets you can move around. He's got the double hinged arms. Dude, his arms look so tiny. Like, really tiny. Pinless, double jointed on the legs here, so they did a good job. Their usual stuff here. Rotates at the calf, rotates at the hip, rotates at the bicep. Yep, so we got all those things there. So overall, looking good. I'm not the kind of person that takes off the vest. This doesn't look like you'd have to take his head and his arms off to get it off. So that's not happening because I'm not quite there in my G.I. Joe comfort in what I do journey, let's say. But we've got that. Now, in terms of his hands, one thing that's interesting, Mindbender did not have any extra hands. This one, he has extra hands. He actually has 2 extra sets, 3 sets of hands. He's got his pointing finger here. He's got his open hand. He's got some fists on there, so you can have him whatever you want to have. And then he comes with the standard holding the gun with the trigger finger stuff. That's my default. I always kind of leave him in there for that. Now, if we start going through, we notice that, oh, we have those there, and then we have one gun and a backpack. But there's another pistol and more of the traditional rifle for the old school is in the back. Need to kind of open this up for a sec. Take that out. There's his pistol. There's his long rifle, which is going to get bent out of shape. Yep, because they put it in there so you can't get it out. Always love when they make it so impossible to get out. But I will give them this. In the backpack, they have a little finger space, so you can put your finger in there, and it still won't get it out. All right. So, if we compare this gun on the old ones, they have for both. On both of these kind of like big blaster kind of things. Hard as heck to get to stay in their hands and look good to get them on there because how it's set up. So let's see if this one's a little bit better. I like the fact that he just has this normal one hand, one finger gun kind of thing here. And of course, like usual, you got to like flick the finger back to get it in there a little bit. Boom. Ooh, so much easier. Oh, wow, his arm's already starting to fall down. That's not good. Look. Boop, boop. That guy's, his arm's been up for a year. This one's a little bit tougher. Yeah, that's not cool. Not cool at all. So, it's rotating around. He's losing points in terms of quality control here. Now, in terms of the backpack, it is a different backpack than they had in the old ones. The other ones had like the stun grenades and the Cobra logo on there. This one does not have a Cobra logo. It's just a basic backpack, kind of like what he had back in the day. Goes in well enough. Sits a bit high on his back. His gun, he has his pistol here goes, it's not on his leg like the other one. His pistol holster is in his back side. So he's got a hidden back thing there. So he's got that. We can put the other gun on the other side, which also only has the one thing there. So it makes it easier to put in, hopefully. Yeah, this guy, I mean, for getting him set up, I have a feeling that my old school ones are going to be making a lot better job. I mean, I want to like him. I want this to be my favorite one because he's so colorful and he looks just like the old school one, which is nice. However, I'm disappointed so far in terms of what we're getting here. How his arm keeps going down and everything. Now, looking at him, the colorfulness, way great color. I do like it. I can see why people have army built with this guy. Mine's probably just because I just got unlucky and got a weak arm on his. Overall, if I'm looking at some of these other ones and this is a cool figure. I'm not gonna the retro card one. It's worth getting, but I actually like my Crimson one and my Python Patrol one better. So something to kind of think about because he is super cool, but I'm not really liking the quality control that's going on here. Now I am happy that his legs are better, so that's cool. But this one, I might go with one of the older ones. I'm going to army build. If you get them cheap. If not, I mean, this one's a fine figure, but you can tell I'm a little bit disappointed. His arms seemed a little short. His looseness of his arms was disappointing there. But overall, I mean, it's still a cool figure. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I got him. Because I like Vipers, but no, bats are my favorite. And when the retro bat comes out, I'm going to do my whole, like, ranking the bats out there. But, yeah, we'll have our rating the Vipers one. But right now, maybe he'll grow on me. But initial kind of stuff, I like Python Patrol 1 and the Chris one better so far right now. Okay, now we're going to Rock and Roll. Now, Rock and Roll is one of the OG 13. I know there's some of us that are all about the OG 13. And we're like, look, when this one came out, I always felt like this is how you update a G.I. Joe. He's got his tattoos. He's got his, rock and roll kind of vibe to him. Big guns, all kinds of stuff. This is perfect. This is a wonderful figure. This is an example of how you update it, make it great, and then you can come out with something like this. You can come out with a green shirt G.I. Joe. And as an OG 13 guy, I've been wanting the green shirts forever. But when I see the green shirts up close and personal, I realize I understand why they didn't put them all out yet, because they're not going to be a bunch of people going for a Zap or short fuse and a green shirt kind of thing. So it's good to update them. So looking at it, packaging-wise, he had cool packaging. I liked him. But this is always cool because you got the retro, and this is one of the iconic, I mean, I know they've changed it for the retro thing, but it's got the iconic G.I. Joe rock and roll kind of thing. So packaging-wise, I'm going to go with the retro one. It's the same thing, 5 languages on there. He does look different. He looks bulkier here. It looks like he lost a little bit of his neck. But let's see what he's like. Let's open him up, and then we can compare the two. All right. Trying to make as least amount of damage as possible. Oh, something came out. Nice. Weapons, his ammo. So, been a little bit much on the side here, but still relatively decent save. And I can't tell you, like, it just works so much better with this heavy card stock. So much better for display. So much less damage. I'm so upset about that Storm Shadow. They got ruined. Package. I'm going to open them up now because there's no point when it's ripped like it is. But looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. So, you do have the G.I. Joe stand that comes with him. You have his machine guns, weapons case here. Now, remember, when you get these, sometimes they have the little fold-out stuff. So he also has the whole, chain, Gatling gun kind of stuff on there. Let's pop them out one leg at a time. It's like one day at a time, guys. We're all doing. Just living this one day at a time. Got to cut that little rubber band out of there. So those nefarious folks that like to switch out people don't take him. And then coming out. I'll tell you, initial impressions. When he first came, I gotta get his holster back up there. When he was first announced, I didn't even think. I just bought it. And as I've seen him more up close, I really understand why people are like, yeah, green shirts are a little boring, because it does look a little bit boring. However, they did do him right. I mean, he does look like the one we had back in the day. He's got his rolled up sleeves here, so you can see all of his guns up on there, right? And they do have the eyebrows. He has the brown eyebrows, the blonde hair, which is kind of like me, except he's not bald. So we have that. But I'll be honest, for a green shirt, this is a green shirt. This is what you're looking for. I have my own OG 13, a Real American Hero shelf, and I got my OG 13 when it comes to classified. I have those two. Now, he does come with 2 extra hands, so he's got a fist, and he's got the rock and roll stuff, which is the same. This one he has the rock and roll one. Right now, I have him just with his, with the ones that came with it. Popping it out, we've got his helmet here to go on. Look, put that helmet on that flowing blonde hair, just like I used to have back in the day. Stand him up. Ooh, stand up right out. I played him a little too much, so I can have him stand there for a bit. Now this one, he does have the walkie-talkie, like you have in the original one, and he has this, big old submachine gun here, and he's got a pistol because you need some machine guns here, or handguns here. So handgun slips right here on the side. Ooh, his pistol is a little bit warped. So that sucks, but I don't really use the pistol so much because for him, I'm gonna do him like the other one. Take off the this, put in the you do hang 10 brother kind of stuff, Put that one in there. Ooh. I won't lie, dude, my fingers are cool. The hand looks a little small for his body. Very weird. I want to do the I love you for one eventually. Anyway, so if you want to know where you put the little walkie-talkie, he's got a little hole in the back of his belt, little plug there. You just plug it in the back of his belt right there, so you have that, which is cool. And I will say, when you put the helmet on, the green shirt really starts to pop better versus like the classified version. So I am liking it better the more I put his stuff on him, which is cool. It is rock and roll. You got to have the huge old gun going. There we go. Oh, the easiest one to put in the thing. What's cool, it has the bipod, so you can get it if you want to get him down on there like we did the other one. Eventually I'll put some poses there for you, so you have that. Now, this thing here, it goes actually on the side. Okay, so with a little bit of work, I did get his little canister on there to hold this thing on. Probably doing it the wrong way, but I got it to stay on. You can actually take off the small one if you want and take that out, and then you can feed in the larger belt in there. Overall, here, let's get them next to each other. I will say, getting them next to each other, looking from behind, really you have almost the same kind of vibe here on the backside. I do think they did a nicer job on this one with the, this has got a black on the bullets, this has a brown. The whole bandolier kind of stuff looks better on the green shirt. Put in side by side. If you're a green shirt person, you're gonna like him this way. However, I gotta say, if I'm looking at it, to be honest, they even have Hang 10 on here from his California roots. Comparing these two, they're both good ones. I will say the more stuff I put on the classified, the more I liked them. But I gotta be honest with you. People like to say, I only want OG13. If it's not the green shirt's not exactly like the old ones, it's not worth it. Look, the classified one wins. This is an awesome figure with the tattoos, everything on there. Just an awesome update. This is also a great one. They will both be displayed in my room, in my office. Not a big deal. So there is that. So looking at it overall, if you're looking between them, I have the classified rock and roll beats the retro one, but still a great figure. I actually like the Python Patrol one better than the retro carded Viper, but the color scheme on this one is awesome. And then when it comes to Mindbender, in terms of what you're getting, I would rather just get the retro carded one. That would be the winner for me on that one. Now, if I kind of go through each of them and kind of judge let's put these down. For judging just these three, things get a bit different. In terms of color and nostalgia, this one gives me the best nostalgia kind of vibe to it. In terms of just silliness, thinking of Joe stuff, this one's pretty good. They're all good. I'm glad I got them all. But if I take them, I have to look them towards me this way. If this was Mark, 40 years ago, having to get guys and I have to make a decision, if I'm looking at them just off of packaging, off of the vibe, off of initial opening kind of stuff, I'm going to probably go Dr. Mindbender is number one on here. The best figure of the three with what you get, because it literally is getting the deluxe figure without a few things. Amazing. And then between the Viper and Rock and Roll, ooh, that's a tough one. If I'm looking at these two, I'm an OG13 guy, and I want to put Rock and Roll as a better one, but I think I'm going to go with the Viper 2 and then Rock and Roll 3. However, in terms of how I like them, I would probably put Rock and Roll in front of the Viper, and I put not Mindbender first. But in terms of overall figure kind of thing, I think you got 1 for Mindbender, 2 for Viper, 3 for Rock and Roll. I am happy with all 3. Let me know which ones. He's like, what? I'm not winning yet. He knocked him over. Which one do you think is best of the three? Because, like, for me, like, this is one of those things. When you first get them, you try them out, you open up, think what you're going to have. Like, I was for sure this was going to be my favorite one, the Viper one, all the stuff I saw everybody showing. But the arm not be able to stay up, like, just the quality thing right there just kind of takes it down a bit. Though he does stand up a lot easier, and they've done a lot of improvements on here. When I do my Vipers all together combine, he might rank higher. I need to play with him a little bit. But just off initial reactions, 1, 2, 3. In terms of my loving him, though, 1, 2, 3, because I am disappointed with his quality control. But awesome color schemes. Overall, all good retro figures. So what's your ranking? How did you get them? Did you get them all? Or did you get one of them? Or did you get pass because you already have... I mean, honestly, I've got 1, 2, 3... I have 6 Vipers already. This is the 7th Viper I have. You know, so, like... When people complain about all the Snake Eyes, what about all the Vipers, right? So let us know in the comments below. I wish you all the best, and keep on collecting.